the Prophecy Club. Our topic today is whether the roundup is going to be happening on December the 5th of 2018. I'm going to tell you, no, it's not. You're probably going to be watching this after this. But I could have told you that about Monday, and I'm going to explain why. I'm also going to explain to you why the date has probably been moved to December the 17th. At least that's their target date. And I'm also going to tell you why I don't think it's going to happen now in December, or probably not even in January or February. As a matter of fact, the roundups may not happen until March. But again, we will talk about that. So today's topic is, I was correct. December 5th is not the roundup day. That was their target day. But President Bush's death delayed that. And now the date, according to Q, is December 17th. But I don't think it's going to happen there either. Anyway, so let's get into the topic. First of all, why I say I was right. And now, I'm not trying to pound myself on the chest here, but you need to know that I know what I'm talking about here and where I'm getting this information, because you want to know you're getting the truth. It might not happen the way they plan, but you need to know that I've done my research and where I'm getting the information, because you need to know that my heart is to bring you the truth accurately and correctly as best as I possibly can. So anyway, here's where I got December the 5th. Now, I've covered this, so I'm not going to labor it long, but you see where it says December 5th there on the left-hand side, about 5 rows down? That's where I got it, because this is from Q. Who's Q? Well, nobody really knows, but I believe that it is not President Trump, but I believe it is someone that can physically touch his desk every day. It has to be someone in the White House. Yes, I believe he is mostly accurate. I believe his heart is to try to tell people the truth, but he also says he does have to use disinformation. Obviously, if he didn't, then he'd be revealing all of his plans to the enemy. So he says disinformation isn't necessary. However, because it says December the 5th there, I believe that was their target date. Now, I'm making this December the 4th, and I can tell you tomorrow's December 5th. There's not going to be any roundup because it's a national day of mourning for President Bush, former President Bush that died. But because of that, I say it was their target date. Now, if you look down in the yellow, that's really important. He says this past election was not simply another 4-year election, but it was a crossroads in the history of our civilization, meaning the plan is to round up some 63,000 bad people, some of which have already been quietly arrested. But when they start arresting Bill and Hillary Clinton and people like that, the real big names, they're not going to be able to do that quietly. And they understand that. They understand that there are going to be big repercussions. We've talked about that. Let's keep going. Crossroads in the history of our civilization that will determine whether or not we, the people, meaning the United States of America as a free republic, will continue, whether we're going to have control over our government. Okay, so here's the rest of why I say I was right. December 5th was the arrest date. As you look here, this is from Q, number 2537. He says the odds of a state funeral, or what are the odds of it being on D5. Now, you see that D5? That, let me back up, look over here. See where it says December 5th, and then under that is D5? He's saying D5 is December the 5th. I'm telling you, I was right. The reason we know that is because December 5th is now the National Day of Mourning due to former President Bush's death. So D5 here was saying December 5th. I was right. And we'll get to that. He goes on to say how many coincidences have to happen before it's mathematically impossible. In other words, all of this was some very deep planning by the deep state and the good guys trying to do the roundup. This particular article, this is the headline, says Trump designates December 5th as National Day of Mourning for President George Herbert Walker Bush. Then, if you look down, number 2539, this is Q Post again. He says the public is about to learn that the DOJ, Department of Justice, and the FBI, and other foreign and U.S. assets have been actively working behind the scenes in one of the largest, look at that carefully, largest criminal investigations in modern-day history, meaning over 60,000 people arrested in a 24 to 48-hour period. That's big. So I know some people are trying to say, well, December 5th is the investigation of the Clinton Foundation. No, yeah, they're going to investigate Clinton Foundation, but that's not what December 5th was about, brothers and sisters. There are some people who say, well, December 5th is also some other investigation, the declassified document. No, look, right there it's telling you what it is. It's 60,000 people being arrested. That's what it's saying. Now let's go on down. In the yellow again, number 2540, it said postponed, well delayed, DS is deep state. Please allow us to counter. What he's saying is, yes, December 5th was our roundup date. They figured it out. They knew it. And so somehow they were able to arrange, I think it was arranged, though I can't prove that, and neither can Q, that's what he says. Somehow they arranged this whole thing to be delayed. Now, how they did that, I don't know. A lot of people on the internet trying to say a lot of different things, but the truth is, I don't know, so I'm not going to tell you what I don't know. Anyway, he does say that it was postponed. Means that on December the 5th, tomorrow, probably by the time you're watching this, don't expect one. It's not coming December 5th. Q says it's been postponed. It's a well-played deception, a well-played delay by the deep state. However, they're going to counter. Now, I'm going to show you why they're going to counter and why December 17th is probably their target date. But again, I don't think they're going to do it on December 17th either. But let's move along. So here was the first number one. I was right. Reason I say this, not trying to pat myself on the back, I want you to know that there's some reasons why I'm getting a lot of this stuff right, and there's some reasons why a lot of people are handing these videos around. Okay, so number one, I was right. When I said the first go date was October 3rd of 2018, it was October 3rd of 2018. I was right. However, it was delayed then by the Kavanaugh meeting. As you recall, all cell phones were supposed to receive an EAS, Emergency Alert System message. And matter of fact, CNN even reported that you could not opt out of it. October 2nd, however, of 2018, all cell phones received an update turning off the auto receive. You could not opt out of it, but now all of a sudden they changed it to where they turned it off. It would not automatically be received unless you went in manually and changed your settings to opt in to receive the EAS message. My understanding is only about 25% of the cell phones even received it. Well, wait a minute. If it was only going to be a test, why would the cell phone companies go to the trouble of sending out an update when it's only going to be a test? Well, the reason is it wasn't going to be a test. That was their go date. It was going to say national emergency and announce the roundup of 60,000 arrests, and the deep state did what they could to get it delayed. Fact, it was going to be national emergency. Second reason why I say I'm right. December 2nd here is postponed. December 5 is saying December the 5th of 2018. But again, it was postponed because of the deep state. Arrest day has been moved. Now, I'll show you that Q hints the next day for the arrests is December 17th. Another well-informed source that says these arrests will take place in January 2019. I hope he's correct. However, I don't think so. I'd like to see it. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's in January. I hope it's in December. But I suspect it's probably going to be later in the year, something like probably March, someplace in there. And I'm not setting a date. I'm not predicting. I'm just saying it's going to be later. That's all I'm saying. So you may be saying, well, Stan, how come you keep getting these things accurate when most people aren't even predicting what's coming and you seem to be getting them accurate? Okay, so well, I'm getting some emails, so I thought I would answer that kind of publicly. Why am I so accurate? Why do I understand these things? Well, first of all, the Holy Spirit, Jesus speaking, said that the Holy Spirit would lead us into all truth. Also, I've taught Bible prophecy for over 30 years. And as you know, the world is, since I teach Bible prophecy, I know where the world is heading. So I kind of look ahead, and it gives me an added edge to know what is accurate, what to believe, and what to throw away, what to ignore. Also, Bible prophecy is written kind of in coded messages, types and shadow type stuff. And so is Q. So are a lot of these things. So I'm able to put them together with the help of the Holy Spirit, with the help of my understanding of Bible prophecy, and that's basically it. Q is written coded messages, so I kind of have an added advantage there. Also, I have a lot of people emailing me stuff. So I kind of put it all together. Again, I give you all credit to the Lord. It's all Jesus. He's doing it all. Now, I need to say something here. Going to be kind of unusual. I can tell you a little something about me personally. I don't watch television commercials. I don't. I was thinking this morning, I've probably watched 3 commercials in the last year. I just don't watch them. I will mute the TV, I turn it down, I turn channels, I pause the thing. I just will not watch a commercial. Can't stand them. I think I've watched probably 3 commercials, probably that guy that sells the pillow. Now, I make an important point here. I don't like people calling me on the phone. I don't like sales talks. I understand that. However, at the end of this DVD, or this video, I have something very important that I want to bring to you, and you do not know it. And I want to bring it to you, and I want you to take a few minutes to actually watch it. I think that's a fair thing to ask you. I've spent probably 4 hours preparing this video today. So that's a fair thing for me. You'll give me a couple of minutes at the end of this. I want to explain some things to you. Now, let's go on back to the 63,000 arrests and how they're going to be tried in military tribunals. It's not going to be some kind of a show court like O.J. Simpson, okay? All trials may be completed in as little as 3 or even 4 months. I explained all of this in another video that I'm not going to go into. It's about 52 minutes long. This is what it looks like. Marines to arrest 60,000 U.S. leaders. All you have to do is go to YouTube/Prophecy Club, click on videos. It looks like this. Here it is in the bottom. That's the one that I recommend you watch. And then the second one is an update. There's a third one, and now this is going to be a fourth one if you want to get the whole story on what I'm talking about. So let's go on and talk about the military arrests. This is a tweet from the U.S. Attorney of South Carolina. I think that's pretty credible. It says military investigation services, along with state and federal law enforcement agencies, are going to hold a press conference at the Department of Corrections in Columbia on Wednesday, November 28th. What were they going to talk about? Probably they were going to talk about these military arrests. Here's an article. It says, when it comes to Guantanamo, Trump is truly the builder-in-chief. It goes on to say that Trump has now spent over $2 million upgrading the construction at Guantanamo. Why? Because he's about to put a bunch of people in it. Here's another article. Headline, Pentagon delivers new guidelines on transferring detainees to Guantanamo. It goes on to say, Defense Secretary Jim Mattis was given the White House in its new policy guidance on transferring detainees to U.S. military base at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. A critical report intended to outline whether the Pentagon backs promises President Donald Trump made on a campaign trail, here it is, to fill the prison with bad dudes. This policy provides for warfare guidance on nominating detainees for transfer to Guantanamo Bay detention, should that person present a continuing significant threat to the security of the United States. Goes on to say, terrorists are not merely criminals, they are unlawful enemy combatants, and when captured overseas, they should be treated like terrorists, like they are. In other words, he's saying indirectly, we made preparations. There are going to be a lot of people arrested. Let's go on. Here's another headline. 305 military police company deploys to Guantanamo Bay. So it says these over 100 members have deployed to Guantanamo Bay. Why? Going down there for a picnic? I don't think so. And by the way, notice the date. They were going down there December 2nd. Why December 2nd? Because the plan was on December 5th to send a bunch of people arrested down there. Now, if we knew the truth right now, it may be that they have delayed the deployment. We don't know that, but it may be that they have. Let's go on. Now, this is President Trump talking at the State of the Union address. I want you to listen to what he says. It's confirming everything I say. Listen carefully. Listen closely.
To re-examine our military detention policy and to keep open the detention facilities in Guantanamo Bay. I am asking Congress to ensure that in the fight against ISIS and Al-Qaeda, we continue to have all necessary power to detain terrorists wherever we chase them down, wherever we find them. And in many cases, for them, it will now be Guantanamo Bay. At the same time, as of a few months ago, our warriors in Afghanistan have new rules of engagement. Along with their heroic Afghan partners, our military is no longer undermined by artificial timelines, and we no longer tell our enemies our plans.
So there you go. Now let me show you another post that Q has put up. This is number 2523. I want you to look at what it says there underlined. They are unlawful enemy combatants. Isn't that just what President Trump just said? He goes on to talking about the questioning of Graham, where Senator Lindsey Graham questioned Kavanaugh about enemy combatants. Well, just so happens I have the scoop. Here it is. Now, I already covered this in another video, so I'm not going to cover it too detailed, just a brief overview in case you missed that. Senator Lindsey Graham was questioning Judge Kavanaugh during the hearings, and he asked him about 10 questions. These are the questions, to which he said yes to all of the questions. Why is this important? Because he was specifically asking questions, triple checking to make certain that they were legal when they go to arrest these 60,000 people, try them in military tribunals, and the trial is pretty much final. I mean, when the gavel comes down, their lives are over. They're probably going to spend the rest of their life, and there will be some executions. They can do that. Anyway, it looks here, it says, when somebody says post 9/11 that we've been at war and it's called the war on terrorism, do you generally agree with that concept? And, of course, he said yes. Is there a body of law called the law of armed conflict? Lindsey's asking him all these questions. You can read all the questions. I've already been through them in another video. I'll skip them. American citizens who collaborate with the enemy are considered enemy combatants. He said yes. And they can be tried by the military. Is that all correct? Yes, 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 yes. All of it is confirmed. I'm telling you, they will arrest 60. And I got in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses from other prophets saying they will arrest these 60,000, whatever the number is. They will be tried in military tribunals because this is God giving America a chance to clean up before he destroys it. Here's another tweet, number 2523 from Q. He goes on to say, the EO, or executive order, effective 1/1/19. I had to do some digging. There are a lot of executive orders that Trump has put out, but which one of them becomes effective on 1/1/19? Here it is. I found it. Guess what it's talking about? It's talking about how they have the authority to try people in military court martial, military tribunals. Now, if you'll look, here's the proof of what we're talking about. This is called 2018 Amendments to the Manual for Courts Martial United States. Then if you look in the red line, it's dated 3/3 of 2018. However, in the red box, it says shall take effect on January 1 of 2019. Took me some digging to find that out. Point is, it's saying they have the authority to arrest, detain, and try and sentence people in military tribunals. Now, let's go on with what he's saying. Believe it or not, this should erase all doubt whether they're going to arrest these 60,000 people. This is a Trump tweet. He actually tweeted out this picture. Look at what it says. Now that Russia collusion is a proven lie, when do the trials for treason begin? Look at who he has pictured behind the bars. Robert Mueller, John Podesta, Barack Obama, Rob Rosenstein, Hillary Clinton, Huma Abedin, Eric Holder, James Clapper, James Comey, Bill Clinton, and Loretta Lynch. So what he's saying is these are on the roundup list. And he's believing that he's going to see those people behind bars. Former President of the United States behind bars? Wow, really? That's what he's saying. I didn't write the stuff. I'm just interpreting it here. Okay, let's go on. Now, this is from Benjamin Fulford. I haven't had any people writing me or emailing me about complaints on him. He's not exactly a Christian. You've been listening to the audio of a video that I have made that is up on YouTube. I'm going to interrupt it right there, but I'm going to chop back in, and I don't want you to turn the broadcast off yet. I think it's really important that you listen to something I have, and so I'm going to paste it right back in here from the video. Here it is. Okay, so here it is. I spent over 4 hours making this video. I hope you find it helpful. As I said, I don't watch commercials. I don't like people trying to sell to me. I understand that. But let me tell you why you need to get these DVDs. Let me take a second. Give me a minute of your time. This is important that you get this. You probably are saying, well, hey, I'd like to have this information. I'd like to be able to understand this. Well, the reason you don't understand it like I do is because you don't have this information. I'm going to tell you some really, really good DVDs that you want to get, you want to watch it, so you can understand what's going on. And no, these are not free on the YouTube. These are not free someplace. If you want to get them, you can get them at prophecyclub.com, or you can watch them at watchprophecyclub.com. So here it is. This one is one of the most important ones. I call these Stan's favorites because they are. I think they're some of the most important information, and you won't get them anyplace else. This guy, Shane Warren, so he sees these things. He sees these visions of Iran, Russia, and China conspiring to kill the dollar. He saw raining dollars, the dollar becoming worthless. Remember that? Because I'm going to show you that in just a second. Another guy. New Madrid earthquake. Remember that one. He heard the audible voice of God saying, "They divided my land, now I will divide their land," talking about America. He saw the dollar will die, silver will rise far more than gold, major riots across America, people demanding entitlements, meaning welfare probably being cut off. Enemies now plot our destruction. A great revival will come. As I was told, I told you about it, August the 8th of 2015. I heard the audible voice of God say, this is the time of miracles. Then, like a week later, I heard this is the time of Elijah, meaning this is the great battle between light and darkness, between good and evil. That's what he's saying. And he said that as the judgment hits, so will the miracles. That's what he told me. These are sevenfold miracles. Anyway, many will return to the church. Two-sided coin. This judgment and revival hits together. America's running out of time. There's a 400-year judgment cycle. America's judgment arrives in 2020. He said that. I didn't. 4 winds of judgment. The 7 attacks on the nation. That's normally a gift of $30, but I've got a package deal for you. Hang on. This is very, very, very powerful. This is by Maurice Scolari. He's a prophet. I've had him in my home several times. We've had him speak. He's a child prodigy with a violin. Why is that important? Because just like David got God's attention because he played a harp and he worshiped him, this brother knows how to worship God. And that's why he gets the revelations he gets. This guy doesn't have dreams. He doesn't he hears an audible voice a little bit, but most of his are visions. He shares 10 visions of the end times. He says the dollar will lose 30% more and totally die. That's the third one I'm going to show you that said that. U.S. wealth will be lost overnight. The bride is not ready, meaning the church will awaken and return to Christ. There will be massive riots across America. Many nations will attack Israel. Nukes will be used. Israel will win World War III, get back her land. Masses will move to Israel. Revival will come to U.S. There will be cities of refuge, and the internet will grow evil and oppressive. Next, I Saw the Dollar Dead by Daniel Davis. Very powerful. I'll let you read the left. I want to read the right. Bottom, where it says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I've heard an announcement. I have an announcement to make. America, as you have known it, has ceased to exist. All property lines have been dissolved, and the U.S. dollar is worthless." If we don't pray, that's coming, and it's coming hard and fast. This DVD explains it to you. I'm only giving you the best ones, okay? Augusto Perez pastored a church 7 years before he had been given 44 dreams and visions. They're on this DVD. A great shaking is coming, a coming famine, glory cloud, the coming attack on the United States, a great darkness, super devaluation of the dollar. That's the fourth one said that. A double portion outpouring is coming. God will protect his own. You see what they're saying? They're saying same thing in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. This is real good stuff. Doug Metzger, awesome. 16 visions of the future, America's fall. America's the fallen tree. Talks about that. You want to hear what he has to say. Vision of nuclear missiles attacking America. 12 American cities nuked. A million voices screaming at death. He heard that. 10-to-1 inflation of the dollar becoming worthless. See what they're saying? See, I'm telling you, you need to get this stuff. This is very good, very good. You want to understand what's coming? You got to get this. Then we had this prophet. He was from Puerto Rico. So he tells us he's seen a large meteor hit near Puerto Rico, causing a 1,000-foot tsunami in Puerto Rico. Then it ran us up the eastern seaboard, 200 to 400 foot high, going inland 200 to 100 miles. And the meteor hits an earthquake fault running up Mississippi River Valley. The Great Lakes open up all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. I'm hearing this, and I'm thinking, well, if this is true, then got to be in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. So I did some research. Guess what I found on the internet? I found 6 people that saw a large meteor hit near Puerto Rico, not in China, someplace near Puerto Rico. I found 5 people saw a tsunami hit the east coast of the United States. 7 people saw America split. 4 of them saw large chunks of California fall into the ocean, and 9 because we split Israel. All of these are in DVDs. You want to get these DVDs. I'm telling you, you want to get the DVDs. Did I say you want to get the DVDs? You want to get them. So here it is. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 titles. 7 titles. Now, we have over 330 DVDs of Prophecy Club. So when I'm saying these 7 are some of the best, that's saying something. Valued at $210 right now. You can get all 7 of them at prophecyclub.com for a gift of just $75. But I can even beat that, because you can sign up at watchprophecyclub.com. You can watch them instantly, plus like over 200 different titles, $20 a month, $200 a year. That's great. It helps our ministry too, but it gets a lot of good information into you. There's a time when you're not going to have access to the internet. You're probably not going to have electricity. You have to hide the word in your heart. So there you go. I'm telling you, get those DVDs. You need to have the DVDs. You need to have the discs. Anyway, so there it is. And also, I would like to invite you to join our partaker team. A partaker is someone that shares in the souls that the Lord gives this ministry. And they do so on a regular monthly basis with either a check or a card. And you can get on board with that by calling 785-266-1112. And finally, for this particular segment, let me tell you about Lear Capital. It was about 1997. They became our sponsor at Prophecy Club, and they have done a wonderful job these years with all of the people that call them. So if you are in the market for buying or selling some kind of a precious metal, the person I recommend would be Lear Capital. You can reach them by calling 800-479-3096. Now be sure and tell them Prophecy Club sent you, as they help bless our ministry, help cover our costs on things. 800-479-3086. What's this really all about? What's this really all about is this world you're living in right now, it's going away. I don't know if it's 20 years. I don't know if it's 15 years. I don't know if it's 10 years. But I'm pretty comfortable we don't have too many more years left. What do you have to do? Here you go. You have to ask Jesus into your heart. I'm giving you the scriptures to back it up. It's as simple as this. If you want it really, really, really simple, say, Jesus, I'm sorry. I've sinned. I repent. Be my God and forgive me in Jesus' name. Do that, and I'll see you in heaven. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your gifts of support. God bless.